Hello, 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 Internet! We're back again, the Unicorn Review crew of the one and only Nikizumi. To my right is...
Rena and Arcemise.
Over the Internet at his school in Michigan, we've got...
Arcemise.
And our welcome fourth member of the team, they're like, wait a minute, it's like we got a Green Ranger or something this week. None other than the anime overviewer.
Hey, what's up?
Joining us from even further away.
Even further.
All the way from the Philippines.
In the future.
We got the, basically, we have, weirdly, we're probably some of the bigger, I'm willing to say that we have some of the bigger, Destiny haters here. For a project that will not be bringing, hopefully our hate will not be brought much to the board, because we're going to be discussing Gundam Unicorn Part 5.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Bye-bye!
Yay!
So, yes, the wooing might actually be warranted this time.
Yes.
So let's just kick it straight into the story. Does anyone want to start us off?
And then, smart guns and Banshee.
Hell yeah. Finally, Banshee.
Yeah, we don't even get a chance to... Luckily, they kind of recap from the end of where we last left off with the Shamblo in ruins. Riddy still standing over Banagher, and meanwhile a base jabber is majestically flying over Torrington base, dropping the mean as hell Banshee down on them.
Destruction and chaos ensues. Delicious, delicious chaos.
Give me your blood.
So
yeah, it's a very odd shot.
The Banshee beats the living shit out of both the Delta Plus and the Unicorn. And
you mean crap? Because this is a kid's show.
Oh, right. Because the last couple episodes are so kid-friendly, especially episode 3.
Oh, was it ever?
I don't know about you guys, but like the end of episode 4 left me kind of underwhelmed by the Banshee, and its appearance here totally made up for that. Just comes in.
I agree. Like the end of 4, like everyone, like we looked up at it and it shot a couple times or whatever. But, like, no one seemed horribly alarmed or shocked. Everyone was just kind of in a state of awe, I guess. And, yeah, now that they are, like, reacting to the fact that it's there and trying to kill them, it adds a little bit more legitimacy to being afraid of it and whatnot.
I'd like to say, I liked how the Banshee took out the Delta Plus. The Banshee just shot off all the parts of the Shamblo, and it all toppled on the Delta Plus as it was firing away.
It was also such a great way to establish how tough that smart gun is, in that it cut through the Shamblo like butter. I love that. It's just like, and you're done. Then we get a Unicorn on Unicorn glomp, and
then, oh my gosh! Who could be piloting it?
Well, we go to the hangar of the Rockeye Loom, and who jumps out?
It's Poe 12. It's Marita Cruz.
Yay!
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, our super brainwashed Marita is back to responding to Poe 12, and Banagher has an Evangelion-style freak-out in the cockpit for a little bit. It looks like he's also found the new Laplace coordinates, but he's keeping quiet and he won't open that hatch. It's around here that our favorite fat man, Alberto, shows up. And now, it might have been referenced on the Unicorn website. I didn't really fully understand that he was Banagher's half-brother till this sequence, actually. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention very well, but yeah.
I didn't notice it either.
I always thought he was his uncle.
Yeah, and then we got this, and then it's like, oh, okay, so aside from being an annoying fat guy, Alberto's a father killer. Awesome.
Yay!
Patricide.
Yay!
Patricide.
I guess we're all in unison.
It's
We're all in unison there.
the bread and butter of Gundam.
Yet another reason to dislike this character.
So the Rock High Loom does its thing. We cut back to Martha, who's talking to Minerva and trying to justify brainwashing Marita, and then and she's on the Garda.
And the awkward fan service.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
awkward middle-aged woman TNA that we get.
That was weird.
It's like she has the face of she has a 40-year-old face on a 20-year-old body. I don't know. Am I the only one who thinks that?
Little bit.
Far off.
Little
But the
bit.
camera just sits there. That's what really made it awkward. Is it wasn't like a passing kind of shot. It was like, there. Stare at it.
Looked away for 5 seconds. Why is there a woman butt in my face?
And you missed all
I
the
don't know.
subtitles. So we get that. We get to see a Garda for the first time in years, which was kind of fun on that nerd level. Banashir finally gets out of that cockpit, but these MIBs interrogating him aren't doing very good work. This calls for a professional.
Da-da-da.
I wonder who it could be.
Bono. Right?
Yeah. Bright Noah. He has someone under draft age on his ship again, and he knows precisely what to do.
Oh yeah.
So it's time for a bright moment. Okay, so we have Bright takes Banashir aside, has that hey kid, how you doing? I see you're piloting a Gundam. You remind me of some of the previous pilots. That's pretty cool. I've got the feeling that you know the next box coordinates and that you're not going to share them. That's fine by me. I'm not going to make you. For right now, you just got to follow what you think is right. And it's like, huh. So,
Bright's such a nice guy.
Yeah, surprisingly, Bright starts getting Banashir out of his catatonic state without having slapped him.
Honestly, I think he was more harsh on Riddy than he was on Banashir, considering how many pilots, especially Gundam pilots, that Bright slapped over the years.
But of course, Riddy is coming at him with a bunch of attitude as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Riddy had a bit of an ego, and I think he could tell that Banashir, whatever his circumstances were a lot more important or pressing than anything Riddy probably had going on. But that's a fair comparison,
definitely.
like how he treats the two of them, yeah.
I think after Judo punched him back, I think he stopped slapping people.
Yeah. Or maybe Amuro's quote-unquote disappearance at the end of Char's counterattack did a number on Bright or something.
I do like that is addressed in this episode, which we'll be getting to.
Yes.
Because Bright seems pretty perturbed by the whole box situation. And he doesn't seem to want this whole let's keep Laplace's box secret, and Anaheim Electronics are up to no good. The Vis Foundation, they seem like a bunch of they seem like they're up to no good too. So I'm gonna call in some favors. So we get some Zeta cameos, and really an original.
Oh yeah, do we ever?
I remember when she popped on screen, I'm like, is that Sayla?
That'd be nice. That would be nice.
That would have been nice.
She's prettier than Sayla.
It was really good to see Beltachka again. Bright dials her up. He also dials up Kai, because seeing what the Vist Foundation is up to, he's not really so willing to let them get away with it, and he actually plans to coordinate something with our buddies on the Garencieres. I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that I've seen the English dub of Unicorn, and I gotta say, even though I love the dub of this OVA so far, I do not like the voice that they picked for Kai. I don't know why, but for some reason I get this. It almost sounds like he's trying to hide a British accent. I don't know if that's just me. But I wish they got Richard Cox back. But what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Richard's Kai voice, and the guy that they got in the Zeta dub, he was kind of a joke. I haven't actually gotten to watch the dub of this particular episode yet. I was actually hoping the Blu-ray would be here by now, but meh.
Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it was still really fun seeing Bright dial up the old crew. They put together a plan to, as the Rakai Loom is going to be sending out their suits, a cavalcade of unicorns, Jestas, and one Zeta wannabe to go meet up with the Garida and to deliver the key of the box over to the Vist Foundation, along with who are already holding Audrey. He tells the Garencieres that they should maybe join the party. He also finds out that the Federation is sending a frickin' Dogos Gear class to go take out the Nahel Argama.
It's worth noting, it's something that I picked up on and we actually get to see, like, in person, is, like, everyone on Bright's ship is pretty much on board with him. Like, the MIBs, Nick mentioned earlier, those guys are clearly outsiders, and the crew is not afraid to just stand up to them and get in their way. There's a great scene where, like, Bright takes Banshee aside and just kind of gives him the little pep talk about how, no one really chooses to become a Gundam. They're just lucky enough, if you want to use that word, to get into the pilot seat. And then it's up to them from there to decide what to do.
I would like to say that Setsuna effectively became a Gundam.
Well, in Bright's experience of these issues, I love that Bright says that the Gundam picks its pilot, and I love when these men in black try to stop him, how the Tri-Stars, the Federation Tri-Stars, trip one of these guys. This has done a retroactive continuity on me. I'm going to be imagining that the Tri-Stars were one of the nameless Jagans that launched with Amuro in counterattack from now on.
I could see that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty likely, actually. Also, speaking of Amuro, I'd like to mention, before that scene where Bright steps in with all the men in black dudes and stuff, there's this really nice scene where just before Bright is about to leave his office, he looks at that picture of Amuro and he says, like, "No, I'm serious, man. I really think this kid's got the right stuff."
Yeah, I loved that.
That was a great scene.
Me, it also felt like an acknowledgement. Like, they're not saying the D word, of course, but I really feel like this is Sunrise stepping in that direction where they're finally able to acknowledge that Amuro is dead, that he has passed on, and this is kind of Bright's way of coping with it.
Either that or his brain is hooked up to a machine in a jar somewhere.
And there's a little microphone to the portrait.
Come on!
This is getting weird. One of the other scenes I wanted to point to was Banshee. It gets to meet up with Riddy again after being apart from since like the second or third one.
The last time they
entrusted Audrey
was part 3, and then Riddy was yelling at him to take the shot, and he freaked out. And yeah,
like any good new type.
Yeah. Well, like the last time they like technically like parted ways, he entrusted Minerva to him to like told him to like look after her and everything. So he meets up with him and he's like, "Where is she?"
He's like, "But by entrusting her to me, I thought you meant hit on her."
That means we're engaged, right? That's how that works.
Well, Riddy did seem to have this unusual look on his face when Banagher told him that way back in, like, what was it, episode 3?
Yeah, that was back in episode 3.
Yeah.
Back when all of the rage in the world wasn't directed at Riddy.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
And for a listener is like, well, why would you guys say that about Riddy? Well, we're about to get into that, because chaos is about to reign. Banagher, now finally out of his catatonic useless state, has regained that I have the drive to do something. And so, like I said, we've got this cavalcade. We've got 2 unicorns on a base jabber. We've got the Tri-Stars, each with a base jabber of their own. And we've got the Delta Plus all flying out to meet the Garida. The Garencieres is flying through the clouds nearby them, and the Garida is flying around about to unleash the Anshas, who are like the Ashamar but with dignity.
They're like the love child of the Jagans, and not the Jagans. They're like the love childs of the Rizel and the Ashimar.
It's amazing how just putting that coat of green paint on these Federation mobile suits just makes them look so much meaner. So, what have we got? We've got a full-on, super chaotic, and, from a viewer's perspective, incredibly fun-to-watch midair battle.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Complete with a Garazulu with a Goof's Gatling shield. I love that.
Was it a Goof's Gatling shield?
Yeah,
I remember that giant.
Yeah, you slow down the scene when these Garazulus pop out of the Garencieres. One of them has a Goof Gatling shield from 8th Team.
Oh, I gotta see that again. Because I don't know, I was too distracted by the giant cannon that it was carrying on its shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they give these Garazulus this great setup. They got the cannon on the shoulder. There's like a Zaku machine gun hooked up to a mount somewhere next to him, and then further down there's a Goof shield. I'm like, hey, haven't seen you in a couple years. So the Garencieres guys start doing their attack. They also send out their own base jabber with old Zimmerman hanging onto basically a zip line. Oh my god!
He's pulling a Rombarol.
I was about to say, this middle-aged, slightly overweight guy doing guerrilla tactics. It's
familiar somehow.
So he's doing that. Yeah. He's on the back of the Garida. Riddy, I don't remember why he goes into the Garida, but he goes there.
He was, you mean why Riddy went inside?
Yeah, he went inside, yeah.
Minerva out.
Oh yeah, so he goes to get Minerva, because he's
got this knight in shining armor complex going. Where he has to be the one to save her from danger.
Yeah.
Anyone else love the fact that Suzaku from the Code Geass dub is now playing Riddy? He's once again the knight in shining armor who's kind of a dick.
Yeah. I just remembered that.
So we've got that going on. Banagher decides that he's got the resolve, he's got the touch, he's got the power, and he starts wrestling the Banshee on the back of this base jabber. Jumps off, pulls a classic Amuro with using one of the Jestas as a springboard.
Oh boy, this is lulzy.
Grabs his own base jabber, steals a beam saber from one of the Anshas because they disabled his weapons. Everything that was fun about Banagher's piloting is right back here. He's actually piloting well. He's figuring out ways that he can not directly kill these pilots, but still put up a fight, and not just cry on the back of the Delta Plus.
But he still caused that Jesta pilot to fall.
Yeah.
Although it does make me wonder, are the Jestas are they designed for within Earth combat or something? Because we never see the Jestas in space.
That's hard to say, and I mean we were just introduced to the darn things, so who knows? Maybe we will get to see them in future episodes. But
yeah, because I was wondering about that. It's like, all right, okay, the Jesta pilot's falling down. Why doesn't he just fly up?
Yeah, that's a good question. They kind of forget about the Jestas at this point. It gets super chaotic.
Which actually, though, to their credit, that was one thing that was kind of crappy about episode 4, is we spend all the time on the grunts, rather than with our main characters. So keeping it focused on Banagher and like his fight with Marita, like the whole time he's trying to get through to her and kind of get through that brainwashing of her cyber new typeness.
Yeah.
And it's a great fight, too, because now let's set this up. The Banshee suffers of what is one of the laziest versions of a bad guy that you can do, which I will also admit is one of my favorite versions of a bad guy that you can do, which makes me kind of a hypocrite. But let's take the good guy, give them a dark color scheme, and now it's the evil version. I mean, we've seen it so many times. I mean, the Ironmonger, to an extent, in Iron Man. We get it in anime all the time. We've gotten it in Gundam plenty of times before. I mean, we mentioned...
It's me, Wario!
Yeah, the Wario syndrome. That is a great way of describing this.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario. He is your enemy.
Banshee is significantly less silly and 500 times scarier. Unless you're afraid of that mustache. Then it's terrifying.
But the Banshee ends up being really cool. It's got the smart gun, it's got the claw on its left arm, it goes into destroy mode right away. We have a Gundam showdown on the back of a giant flying fortress.
Which is really impressive that it withstood them stomping around on top of it.
It
must be a very strong ship.
Yeah.
They make those Garados to last.
Meanwhile, Zinnerman is like hanging on for dear life on top of this thing too, and Marita is almost gonna like take him out, but she starts again like breaking through the brainwashing.
You start having those classic cyber new type, what is going on with my head moments.
I just got brainwashed a third time, what's going on?
You got that, and then you have Banagher, who decides that he's going to take so much that he's going to take control of the situation that he doesn't let the unicorn go into its destroy mode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tries to go NTD on it because it can detect that she's a new type, and he's able to suppress it.
He has the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Moral high ground.
The fight between the two unicorns is just fantastic to watch. On the inside, you got Minerva talking to the Vist people. Riddy comes into them, and he starts implying that he knows what's in the box.
What's in the box?
And then they're like, wait, you know about the box? He's like, of course I know about the box. Minerva, come with me and marry me and stuff. And Minerva's like, sorry, dude, you're a creeper.
That, they do so much with body language here. Riddy, is kind of goes to put an arm around her to kind of push her back like towards his suit and everything, just to kind of get her moving and comfort her. And she just kind of like steps back, and so he misses. And it's just
super jealousy rage.
That is one serious case of blue balls.
Her reaction was not unlike that time when I tried to get Arcemise to buy Fate Zero. Oh!
No! Not paying $400 more.
I don't want to marry you, you weirdo. So,
How old is Riddy? I think he's like 23 or something. And Minerva, she's like 16.
yeah.
You know how a lot of fans like to accuse Char of being a pedophile? I think Riddy is more of a pedo than Char was. Because at least when in MSG, Char was like 20 and Lala was 17.
Yeah, like, I never really understood the Char's a lolicon argument. But this is definitely straight up Riddy being a pedo. So Cradle Snatcher's all, yeah, he's like, but you want to come with me because I'm the White Knight.
I'm the good guy.
And eventually it's like, it's me or falling out the back of the plane.
And Audrey takes...
Which one should go?
Fall out of the plane! This sounds like a much better arrangement.
And it's
I take Audrey's choice.
They're in the hangar of this plane, actually, and so all of a sudden you have a bunch of mobile suits tearing through it. I think it's about this time that the Unicorn and the Banshee find their way inside. And also Zinnerman, he made it in to start chucking grenades and machine gun fire.
No, there's a better scene before they make it inside.
Okay.
We do have our classic new type moment of Audrey being like, Banagher, now would be a good saving me time.
Okay!
And I was just like, oh, hell yeah. I get my
I'm on my way!
back.
The Unicorn manages to match her relative speed, I guess. I'm not going to get too much into physics.
I gotta say, that was a pretty cool scene, seeing the Unicorn catch Audrey like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good use of the MTD.
Yep.
I definitely did a straight up, when Audrey got back in the cockpit with Banagher.
He did.
Like,
I was there.
like, it was kind of adorable seeing them reunited. They were just...
Yeah.
Like any of those scenes from like Eureka 7 or Macross. Just really touching and sweet.
Yeah, it was a really Eureka 7 moment, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, we do get this great Eureka 7 moment, made a little bit funnier by the fact that it's Stephanie Shea getting caught. So Audrey and Banagher are back together. The lady is with the Unicorn. Zimmerman, meanwhile, is pulling a Harrison Ford. He wants his family back.
I want my family back.
And I, did not stop crying throughout the entire next scene.
Because we find out that his daughter's name was Marie. And I'm
like, I called it, you
so here's Marita, who's still under
Hallelujah
that
shows up.
psychic new type control. Banagher comes back to deal with her. The fighting has moved to the hangar. The Anaheim people are running scared. Poor Zimmerman almost gets stepped on and squashed.
Riddy's got Gundam envy.
Oh.
Oh.
Overviewer and Rena are so excited for this. So
Where's Sigmund Freud? We
Second
need him.
part about this entire episode, Marita destroying the Delta Plus.
Oh, man.
Riddy a new one.
Yeah,
Literally.
Rick to join into this Gundam fight.
Which is great, it goes back to her, Marita's brainwashing where, the Gundams were they had to kill these things.
It's
so they're practically a trigger word. And so when she hears, Riddy going on that it's all the Gundam's fault because he's pointing his gun at the Unicorn and the Banshee who are kind of, deadlocked in a fist, fight.
Fisticuffs.
Yes. Marita breaks away and is like, you're a Gundam too, and just goes tearing at him. It was just great.
Well,
don't attack a Pru wearing a Delta suit.
I was about to say, yeah, I mean, she's one of the Pru clones, Plus, the Delta Plus is an amalgam of the Zeta and the Hyakushiki. Only, like, 2 of the suits that were high on her brainwash to destroy list.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't have picked a worse way of handling this situation.
If only the Delta Plus had a biosensor.
Unfortunately, it just gets its knee kicked in.
I was about to
Yeah.
make a Marita joke, and then I took a Banshee to the knee.
Oh, God.
Oh, and you'll love that.
The poor Delta Plus gets so fracked up.
And there's like oil and grease and stuff coming out of it like it's blood, and it's just getting torn apart. Actually, I almost thought that Riddy was dead. Like,
I wanted it.
We haven't seen a Kill 'Em All Tomino-esque scene yet, but I wouldn't put it past Unicorn to do something like that, where they're just dead.
Oh yeah, but Riddy has escaped death a couple times, and I'm kinda hoping this will be his last.
I bet it's because he had that good luck charm.
I will say I never guessed him to be the loser villain.
You take loser villain lessons. Yeah. You take loser villain lessons from Jared.
And not Patrick, who you should be taking them from.
Oh, absolutely, Patrick. At least he survived.
Oh god. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if Riddy's gonna be that lucky. Benager and along with some new type help from Zimmerman finally get Marita to cool down, but not before she has a total freak out when she realizes that she herself is in a Gundam. Oh
Yeah.
And she calls herself Gundam. I'm like, is she related to Setsuna?
That would work, because I like both of them.
Yeah, it's just one of these great scenes where, like, again, going back to the Kill 'Em All Tomino style, like, this scene could go south so fast. And it's really heartwarming to see it actually, like, end well, where, they get through to her, she pretty much falls out of the cockpit, and they pick her up and they take her back.
Zimmerman got his daughter back. I can't help but say, like, especially since I was watching Zeta so recently, I was so worried that it was going to be, Marita's going to die, no, and oh.
I actually thought she was gonna kill Zimmerman. Like, it was that intense.
It's like, well,
Yeah.
that was a
Spoilers!
welcome change of pace.
Spoilers, we're doing an episode recap.
No!
Yeah, pretty much.
Have we ever shied away from the spoilers on these things?
We can move that
No.
spoilers disclaimer to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyway, so Benager and team head back out, leaving Riddy a little bloodied, and going a little insane behind. We actually see that the little charm that he's had on his wrist, we see that fall off and lie on the ground while he goes, you know what? I think I'm gonna take the Banshee for a spin.
Symbolism!
Oh god. Is Riddy gonna have to get cyber new typed?
I wouldn't put it past him.
It's cyber new type.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, great. Well, from what we've seen with previous cyber new types, it will only make his mental instabilities all the more crazy. Oh boy.
Unless you're Gyune.
Oh, Gyune.
You and your wonderful Yaktoga. So our team heads off into the sunset. They head up into they're about to head into space for more insanity. because as insane as that entire plan was to get Audrey and Marita back, guess what? There's still a loose thread in this plot. The Nihil Argama is going to swing into low Earth orbit, shoot out a tow cable,
It's like going fishing.
and pull the Garencieres back into space.
Delicious. Oh.
This can only end well.
And so the ship doesn't have enough thrust to make the rendezvous point just to get the cable, and so to give it a little extra boost, Banshee takes the unicorn and grabs hold of the ship and like activates his thrusters, at the same time activating his NTD system of his own free will. And we actually see it glow green.
With a familiar rainbow field around him, for that matter.
Eureka 7 again?
Now, I was thinking more along the lines of the end of Char's counterattack.
By which this actually has a name.
Yeah, they gave it a name in this episode.
It's called Axis Shock.
Such a really, I mean, this will be kind of nice from that perspective of finally being able to explain to people without new type hippy dippy stuff what happened at the end of counterattack. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I always thought it was just Amuro's willpower and the wishes and hopes of everyone else that pushed Axis back.
That was always my take on it.
It's still hippy dippy new type.
I think it was all those Dragon pilots, because those guys are the best.
Don't forget the Gyaradoga pilots.
Yeah,
that's
there's three guys on the Gyaradogas. Kudos to those bad boys.
One
Yep.
didn't blow up. Anyway,
So
Banshee is able to get the thrust they need and is able to grab onto the hook and he's basically like holding the hook with one hand and then hanging onto the ship with the other, and it's really stressing the suit out, but he manages to hang on.
Only for an attempted sucker punch by Riddy.
I have the power!
Oh wait, no!
I think you're a little early. Because the next thing that shows up is we find out that General Rebel sent one of his flagships out.
Well, General Rebel's dead, Brian. He got hit by the solar ray 16 minutes ago.
Why did they call it
actually,
Rebel class?
Yeah, it's a Dogos Gear class named the General Rebel.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
probably where I got mixed up.
and it's got all these Rizel type units that are in their own unique color scheme, orange and white, I believe it is.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, and what was that? They also meet up with the Nihil Argama.
And wow, it's good to see them again.
Yeah.
Yes.
We missed those guys.
Oh, I think we forgot to mention earlier. What's his name? Captain Automidas. He received a message that he was to assist the Rock.
The Rockailoom, yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. It's so great because like he gets the message and tea-splosion all over the ready room. Just spits out his tea everywhere.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard
The best-
is not.
Yeah, all the best animation went into that tea scene.
Oh yeah, we got some really good animation on that. And
So anyway, getting back on track. So they meet up with what's it called? The Garencieres and the Nihil Argama meet up, and they're confronted by the General Rebel. And just before it looks like they're about they're about to get their behinds handed to them, who shows up?
Angelo!
I never thought I'd get to say this. Angelo to the rescue.
Angelo and Full Frontal.
Angelo to the absolutely fabulous.
He's now using this new mobile suit called the Rosen Zulu. It's kind of like
An upgraded
a
Hama
mixture
Hama.
of yes, it's an upgraded Hama Hama, and it still has his the pink color scheme of his Girazulu from an episode or two ago.
Oh man.
And it just ends up raping all of those Rizel type suits with ease.
It's so one-sided, it's almost insane. And
Yes.
he's like using those stretchy arms and lasers everywhere, and these General Revel Rizels aren't even getting a shot off against this guy.
I will say one thing, it confirmed that Angelo is a cyber new type.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez. There's
And after he's finished, he takes out like a dozen of these things. And then after he's finished, he does this little bow as he exits the stage to allow
full
full
frontal.
I like Angelo more and more with every episode. And I want
I'm still
him to
waiting for
die
it.
so bad at the end of the first.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
But I'm still waiting for him to get his ass handed to him.
Oh, it'll be fun. It was satisfying the last time, so.
And boy, was it.
But now he bows, lets Full Frontal come in. Full Frontal pulls a rocket launcher or something that I'm sure will be in the new deluxe Shinanju model kit. Or if Bandai continues what they're doing, they'll make it a completely overpriced thing that I have to pay like $40 for from their web store or something.
A separate model kit just for this cannon. It's very reminiscent of the one used in Zeta. I thought the giant super hyper beam rocket cannon or whatever that Quattro uses.
When I first saw it, I thought he just took a dome bazooka and duct taped it to the end of his beam rifle.
Probably not
I
far
think
up.
I think there are. I think one of the novels of Unicorn actually comes with parts for the Sinanju bazooka. Although I think it's different from the one we see here.
Full Frontal takes aim at the General Revel, this big old Dogos gear, takes a shot, and then, if you listen really closely at the end of the episode, you can hear every fan crying out in agony because it's another year before we find out what happens.
Oh, my sentiments exactly.
Yeah,
So-
cut the credits.
So that's episode 5. Let's take it around. What did you guys think?
Well, I'm of a similar opinion with you guys. I was pretty let down by episode 4, and while personally I don't think this was on par with the first 3 episodes, I think it was still pretty good and definitely an improvement. It was definitely better paced, and it balanced out character interactions and the actions rather well, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty much a complete repeat there of what you just said. Like, and I especially was drawn to like the character moments, and like I mentioned before, that those really subtle ones where like just the body language of the characters speaks for itself. With the interactions between Riddy and Minerva. Riddy has been a really fascinating character, and this is definitely an episode where we get to see where he's come to throughout this whole thing. You know, we started out and he was like this really nice guy, trying to do the right thing, a little bit of a xenophobe or hater, I guess, and then, you know, he's to this point where his perception of himself isn't matching reality. We even have this great discussion between him and Minerva where he's very focused on the now, and it's a reoccurring theme for all these characters is that there's the past, with like Minerva, it's Zeon, and what that represents. There's the now, which is kind of where Riddy is really residing, and that it's like who cares about tomorrow? We can run away, we can elope, kind of thing. And then there's Minerva and Banashir, who are very focused on the future and getting the world to a good place. And it was just really fascinating to see those different aspects kind of come to a fruition and really get to explore that.
That's a very good way of putting it. I agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I will say this, getting back to an actual episode after a filler episode that seemed so much longer than it needed to be is like a breath of fresh air, and you like it more.
This one felt so short compared to the last one.
It's because it was
It did, actually.
Sorry,
Rena. Go on.
Everything to do with Marita in this episode literally made me cry. I was crying and sobbing like a little baby during the entirety of this episode. And I want more.
It's true. I was there. You guys pretty much hit like my main. If I had to give like my short bullet points, that's pretty much it. I loved getting back to straight up story again. The pacing did feel really fast, yeah, but for me it was like it felt like it was moving fast because I was actually having fun with this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, beginning to end, I really was having a lot of fun with this one. And just the character interactions were really interesting. The mecha scenes were still really good, but they weren't taking away from the character scenes. Which, if anything, was the problem with the last episode. Recently, Rena and I watched episode 3, and I realized that was part of my issue with episode 4, was in episode 3 they really used those throwback mechs in a way that it's kind of fun, like icing on top of the cake, but they're not taking away from it. And episode 4 felt really long, because it was all just throwback mechs, and there's a point where it's fun, and there's a point where it's, okay, I get it, yeah, I know this model kit's out, yeah, I'll buy the high grade, just get off my screen.
Yeah, they had to make a high grade of the Jiwagu when they could have made one off that badass Biolant custom.
It's like the Hawkeye, but ugly as hell!
Next thing you know, they're going to make a high grade kit off the Zogok.
And with my luck, we're going to be getting that before the Rosen Zulu, of course.
You said it. It's your fault.
Hashtag Gundam modeler problems. Bouncing off of something that Arcemise started pointing out, and I want to know if you guys are kind of picking up on this too. I kind of like this theme about families and escaping your past, and I feel like they were trying to establish this theme in the last episode, and they just handled it really clumsily. But we kind of got that with Loney too, which is this idea of your family and their actions somehow dictate what you do, or you can break free from what it's supposed to dictate what you do. Like, Riddy's family were the first victims of the Universal Century, and Banashir's family, at least Siam Vist, are very much one of the first terrorists who inflicted harm upon those victims. And then, on that same note, so you have Riddy, whose family were originally the victims, and now he's starting to act like the jerkwad, while Banashir is trying to be the hero. Similarly, you also have Minerva, whose family were a bunch of genocidal dictators, and now she's also trying to break free from that family tradition and be the hero, so to speak. And even Loney, you have another case of she felt that she was tied down to be the vicious warrior for Zeon, and she died because of it. You have this theme of if you keep yourself stuck in that niche that your family has left for you, you're doomed. I feel like that's what they were trying to do and just didn't do very well. What do you guys think?
Totally agree.
That's an interesting way of putting it. I never actually thought of that. I think that this episode was trying to make up for the last one, because that whole spiel that Loney was going on about family, it felt, when she kept preaching on about it, it felt like I just got the impression that she was just using it as an excuse. But it looks like here they're actually building up on family, like what you said, and how it dictates your future or what it can and can't do to you.
Yeah, it just feels like this whole episode, like whoever was working on it, I feel like all of the staff realized that they botched episode 4. I really do. Because a lot of our issues from episode 4 were addressed. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking of family, it's also, you mentioned family. Interestingly, we get a little bit more of that when, what's his name, Alberto, mentions a few things about his family and his relation to Banshee.
Yeah.
So we get to see a bit more of that.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting theme that I'm really hoping that they tie really well into these last 2 episodes.
And speaking of family, it makes me wonder, what are they going to do with Banasher's grandfather? What's his name? Siam Vist.
Yeah, he's still hanging in
dying.
there.
We'll see him like at the beginning of each episode or something.
Well, yeah, he's like 100-something years old, but
not quite dead.
I'm not dead.
I'm not quite dead.
That's where the brain is. I
feel happy.
That's forever gonna be in our heads whenever we see that guy.
What, he has the jar?
No, just him like, I feel happy. It'll be Monty Python and the Holy Laplace's box.
So so we've covered themes and character progression and developments. What do you guys think of the mechs in this episode?
I originally didn't like the Banshee, but then that smart gun and claw made me go, oh, yes.
Yeah, I think the suits in general, I really enjoyed the designs, a lot of callbacks. At the same time, they are new suits, which may be to sell model kits, but I think they really were really fun to watch. I think the Banshee really did itself justice, being terrifying when it wanted to be. And with the Delta Plus, I'm sorry, Nick, but it reminded me of Destiny Atherin, because it just fly around and transform and not do anything.
Yeah, the Delta Plus definitely disappointed in the end.
Yeah. That was a nice suit.
It looked pretty.
It looked pretty, so we can put the onus on the pilot, I guess we could say.
Yeah. Also, once again, the Jestas got the short end of the stick. I mean, in the last episode, you barely see them do anything, and here, they don't do much either. It's a shame. I really like the Jesta. It's a really nice design.
I'm with you. I really like the Jesta a lot, and despite them not getting to do much, seeing how their pilots behaved made me really want to go out and get the high grade.
Do you want anything that remotely resembles a gym?
Maybe.
I have the high grade of the Jesta. It is an excellent kit.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Jestas, I wish they would get more screen time, but I really did enjoy getting to see them for what they did do. I was a little sad that after seeing the Rigazi just hanging out in the Rock Hyloom's hangar, that we didn't get to see it launch at all, but oh well.
That's okay, there's still hope that Beltachka might pilot it.
Wow, that'd be a weird nod to Tomino.
Yeah. Speaking of Beltorchka, what did you guys think of seeing some old faces back here?
Beltachka is still pretty.
It was good.
She is. She looks the same.
It was good to know that she wasn't dead. Like what happened with her character within the writing of Gundam. You know, she was pretty much written out as opposed to, you know, being removed within the show. She got taken off camera. So it was really good to see that they didn't just like arbitrarily say, yeah, she's dead because Amuro can't have a wife.
Thanks, Sunrise.
If Beltachka has a little curly-haired kid...
That would be awesome.
They do she and Amuro do have a kid in Beltorchka's children.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I really wish we could get that book translated, but it was really good to see her again. It was good to see Kai again, too, even if his dub actor wasn't that good. It was nice to catch up with the old guy and see that he's still,
a snidely Whiplash character.
Yeah.
He's a little smarmy.
I don't think Kai was in the novel, was he?
In Shark's the Shark's Counterattack Beltachka's Children thing? No, I don't think so.
No, I meant in the Unicorn novel.
I
never heard anything about Kai being in it.
The thing is, like, I've had access to... I found a translation of the first two books, and I've tried to look up... Like, I've been trying to find information on the whole Loney situation, and how much that got botched, and that was really the only intense research I did on the novel. Because I don't spoil how much things end too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will admit that when I heard that the Loney situation was different in the novel, I went all historian researcher on it, and I started looking stuff up. And yeah, that whole situation is such a clusterfrack compared to what it was in the book.
Yeah, other characters that were nice to see, and like, I know we've seen Bright around in these last couple episodes, but I felt like this was the first one where we literally got to sit down with him and chat and see what his state of mind is and how far he's come along. Still very true to his beliefs and what he always stood for, and it's great to see that he has a crew that reflects that belief. And yeah, it was just really awesome to get his perspective on things.
It was great to see him again.
Ken Narita is doing a great job in the Japanese emulating the original Bright.
Yes. Yes. It's almost uncanny.
It was something that they were going to have to recast, and they handled it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see the character again. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes. If you ask me, I think Bright seems to be a bit more relaxed right now, especially considering all that he went through in the past, and I think it's interesting the way he handles Banagher here, because with the past Gundam pilots that he's worked with, he's always been so strict, of course, and need we forget the infamous Bright slaps that he's done and attempted to do, and he doesn't really do that here to Banagher because he knows what he's seen what Gundam pilots are capable of, and I think he knows that that Banagher's heart is in the right place, and this is illustrated well when he speaks to the portrait of Amuro.
Having those moments of Bright with Banagher really sold this episode, and in some ways sold parts of the series for me. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I think what sets this OVA apart, especially from the other Gundam OVAs that we've had in Universal Century, is that they're all side stories about things that really, in the big picture, don't really they can help the main stories of of original Zeta and Counterattack, Double Zeta, those kind of things, but they're not going to take away from them. Whereas I really feel like this is a legitimate continuation of the old Tomino shows. And having Bright give his blessing to Banagher made it feel really complete for me. Kind of a canonization of Banagher as one of the mainstay Universal Century pilots. So let's do our quick speculation for the future.
Sure.
And then, because
Anime overview is already there. In the future.
Any news from
Yes.
Suka?
Yeah, it's like almost
well
where you are, isn't it?
Well, let's see. I'm looking into my crystal ball, and seeing as how the unicorn psycho frame turned green here, I see a full armor unicorn in the future, which I know you can't stand, Nick.
It's so bad.
Put rocket launchers on your bazookas.
I can just imagine Takuya just being like, yeah, I want every weapon on the ship, and we'll just put it on the unicorn.
Why? Put it past Takuya.
I'd just like to emphasize it's not a full armor. Yeah, it's not full armor. Full armor is like the Alex or the full armor Double Zeta. This should just be called full weapon unicorn, don't you think?
Or even better, full looks like an idiot unicorn.
Or even better, just gun.
My overexcitement aside, it looks so silly.
Let's see, what else?
I don't understand, but go on. I'll just go.
Yeah. So what else do I see in my crystal ball? I see, I see Angelo getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yes, I see that. I see the destruction of the General Revel. And, I see, Rudy going nuts in the Banshee.
Probably pretty safe guesses there.
Probably some safe bets, yeah. We'll kick it over to... Gotta keep doing... For me, your avatars, along with how it is in the room, I'm just gonna keep kind of going clockwise with this.
Sure.
So Arcemise, your last predictions were pretty dead on, really. Talking about Angelo getting a new suit in the future, and hoping that the story would get a little bit more focused. These things seem to have happened.
My thoughts for the future are that we'll get taken to the final location probably by the end of the next episode. Those coordinates. I am a little afraid that that Full Frontal's kind of commandeer the Argama, because that's how he is. Let's see. I think I'd like to see Mikat and Mineva kind of re-meet up, because when they left last time, they kind of had they parted on certain terms, mostly regarding Banagher. But it'll be really interesting to see if they get to meet up again and kind of rediscuss how their relationships are going.
Yeah.
I want more Stark Jagans to show up, and I want them to win this time. That'll be nice, because Stark Jagans are awesome. And maybe they should have a Goof Gatling shield. Make them a little bit more imposing. That'd be pretty sweet.
I'm so sorry. I just realized did the Gatling shield Arcemise, did that make up for the fact that you didn't have a lone grunt to cheer for this episode?
They keep hinting at goofs for me. There's the one that busted out of that castle, and then went somewhere.
Where did he go?
And then we have a Gatling shield. I think they're trying to tell me there is a space goof in the near future. And I think Zinnerman's gonna pilot it.
Okay, so that is Arcemise.
That's my money out there.
Hypothesis.
Yeah.
Bandai
Sunrise, you got something to do.
You can
get on it.
This is based in no way on his playthroughs of 0081.
You can call it the Stark goof.
Alright, kicking it over to Rena, your speculations on the future.
I want Angelo to keep being a crazy bitch. I like Angelo being a crazy bitch. I'm gonna call it again that Full Frontal is a Char. Because, of the clone things are now significantly molded into existence. You cannot get rid of them. And I just think it's plausible now that Char would have been cloned. I want to see Marita pilot something else. Just so that they can sell me yet another model kit.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not totally trying to attempt to buy all of the things that Marita pilots.
I'm getting the feeling you might be a fan of Marita.
Maybe. A little bit.
That vibe is very strong.
I never would have guessed.
I'm also looking forward to seeing Audrey in her Xeon Princess outfit. Because I want her to literally kick ass in those things. In her outfit. And it might be that Marita might get the Kshatriya back because of the one illustration from the novel.
Mm.
And that would honestly make me really happy because she kicked so much ass in the Kshatriya.
Such a gorgeous machine.
And I'm totally willing to see Audrey in the cockpit with Marita in the Kshatriya. That would be so much fun.
Okay.
Another thing, I want Riddy to tear his body apart trying to get revenge.
Oh.
I literally want Riddy to end up destroying his body. Like, ripping his skin off or something.
Eesh.
From not being able to handle being in a cyber new type machine.
You're hoping for the gold at the end of Macross Plus?
Yes, yes. I'm hoping for gold self-destruction on Riddy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
The movie version
don't
of
like
it.
Riddy.
Riddy became such a creeper in this episode. I mean, he's been getting there.
I also want to see Bright eat a hamburger.
Yeah. We all want to see that.
Actually have more than 7 seconds of screen time. And
Don't worry, I'm sure he will, putting the full armor unicorn together.
and I want to and I want to see Zimmerman eating a cake.
Okay.
I have no reasoning behind that. And I'm passing it off because everyone wants to see Bright eat a hamburger.
Okay. Closing things off, I'm happy to have Banashir back in the go-getter kind of pilot situation. I'm glad to see him actually taking some initiative. I can't wait to see more of the unicorn fighting. I'm looking forward to the green Psycho frame, despite the fact that I make no secret of the fact that I just cannot take the full armor unicorn seriously. That it's just so silly. So that I'm looking forward to seeing more of Banashir fighting with his new resolve, though. That is going to be very excellent for the character. I think just having Audrey there with him is going to make his whole experience and his whole ability as a pilot improve drastically. I want to see more of the Rosen Zulu because I freaking love that thing. I want to see the Sinanju doing its thing again, because we have gone a couple episodes in Angeles, and it's such a beautiful bad guy mech that it's really a waste to not see it back in the field, kicking arse again. I really don't know where the alliances are going to go, though, because it's pretty clear Vist and Anaheim have their own agenda, that they might be controlling the Federation, but Full Frontal hasn't exactly been portrayed as Mr. Nice Guy either. So, it seems like Banshee and the Nihil Argama crew are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because they've got these Neo-Zeon guys who just saved their butts, the Neo-Zeon guys who they just saved on one end, but they also have these Federation special ops guys who they are now running from on the other end, and I don't know if Bright's going to actually save them, or if he'll even have much to do with the story at any point after this, but they're in a tough spot, and I'm really curious how they'll resolve it.
Well, bonus points. They have 4 out of the 5 strongest machines.
But most of all, what I'm hoping for next episode, I want to get in the box. We've been talking about this box episodes now. Let's get a box. Let's get that box. Open it up.
I'm gonna laugh if it's like a little, music.
Open the mystery box.
It's old Vist's head.
We're gonna pull a Professor Layton, there's nothing inside.
I was about to say, is this going to be UHF with, nothing! Absolutely nothing! You're so stupid!
Nice.
Oh.
So Nick's final thoughts are that they're between a rock loom and a hard place.
I would hit you if you But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. A couple weeks back, Anime Overviewer posted a video talking about how we're getting 7 instead of 6 episodes of Unicorn. I'm not big.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, there was a lot to say in it. I'm just gonna do my response here, aside from that my little comment about how the Full Armor Unicorn is silly. But to give a more full-length response to your video, basically, the impatient part of me is very sad that I have to wait for the ending even longer. And I'm really sad that it's going to be another year before episode 6 comes out. On the other hand, I'm just so happy that the ending's not going to be rushed. Because where we're at right now, I don't feel like we could fit the ending into... It feels like we have too much ground to cover in 1 hour. And 2 full-hour episodes could probably do it. But...
Yes.
That's where I'm at.
I think it can. And I believe the episodes are going to be longer, from what I understand.
That'll probably be good.
That's what I've been hearing anyway.
It'll also make it a lot less painful to purchase these extremely expensive Blu-rays.
As soon as the pre-order goes up for the next episode.
Yeah, Bandai Entertainment, we miss you. It was a good episode of Unicorn. I think we all enjoyed what we saw. There's still room for improvement, but they've got 2 episodes to go. I'm willing to keep my fingers crossed and say that this still has the potential to go down as one of the best Gundam OVAs ever.
It's already there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It outranked 0080 in this last episode.
Ooh, wow. That is high praise from you.
I was more emotionally invested in these characters than I was in Barney.
Wow.
Oh.
Me at 6th grade would be shocked.
I'd say it's a little bit better, if they had more time than 8th Team did. But obviously you can see 8th Team's influence, and...
Well, we all know how much I absolutely hate 8th Team, because Anytime I level critique against anything, that means that I hate it. But
yeah, really, really solid show that we got here. It's really exciting and awesome. And it was a great review.
Yep.
It's so awesome to have you on board, Anime Overviewer.
so yeah,
Thank you for having me. It was awesome talking to you guys,
yeah.
and I hope we can do this again sometime.
Oh, definitely. I think we'd all be really up for it. It was really great to have you on. Coordinating between time zones. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually a lot of fun. This is
Something that coordinators do?
no.
Gee, I wonder.
But yeah, it was.
Gundam.
I'll admit, I was like, okay, I need to figure this out, and it was actually a lot of fun. This is probably my international studies minor, like, coming through really clearly right now. But yeah, we got to set this up. It was really fun having you on, Anime Overviewer. So thank you for being on here with us and for just being an awesome Gundam fan. Thank you to Arcemise
Thanks.
also waking up for my shenanigans.
You guys had to wake up earlier than I did.
It's true, but you're always along for my terrible ideas and all of my shenanigans. So thank you for joining me on yet another one.
It's what I do.
And as always, thank you, Rena, for all of the support and generally being my super enabler girlfriend when it comes to me making money decisions in regards to Gundam.
Not like I totally got him 2 real grades. And
Really?
showed him where to get the new one.
Best girlfriend ever. Alright, so I guess we can give our parting salutations, pass that around.
It was great talking to you guys again, and hope we can come back for Unicorn 6.
Indeed.
Sounds good. Catch you later, sir.
Yep.
Sounds good. Yeah. Anyway, it was great talking to you guys. I really had fun, and yeah, I hope we can do this again sometime.
Indeed. And where can people check out your fantastic YouTube channel?
You just type up the Anime Overviewer on the YouTube search bar, and you should be able to find it.
Fantastic.
Of course, if you type in Arcemise, you always get Nick's videos.
That's okay, then you get a link to his art website.
Yeah.
Do check out all of Arcemise's great AMVs!
Goodbye, everybody!
So long.
And I exist more on Tumblr than I do on my art
Bye,
website.
everybody.
Be sure to check that out.
And as always, because it just wouldn't be on this channel if I didn't, I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Check out all of our individual pages, and remember to keep on spocking in the free world.